Yes, friends, in this video, we will use the report filter, advanced filter. We will use the macro. This is the best use of the macro. What is the disadvantage if we will not using macro, and what is the advantage if we will using the macro with this formatting? Now we will use this macro from the using of this functionality. First, we will check here that here the value is this one. This is your value, right? Then now you can see here, this is our data. We will go for the data, advanced filter. In the advanced filter, copy to another location, list of range of data. This is list of range of data. Then criteria range. If I am doing with the criteria range, you can do here also. Criteria range is this one. This is your criteria range, and copy to, if I'm copy to here A to I, for example, then okay, then this is result. But if I am changing the criteria, at that time we are creating second time. For example, if I'm changing here the criteria, right? Then first we will data home tab, uh, clear all value. If this value all are clear, then if all this value is clear, then first it will be go for the data tab, advanced filter, copy to another location, list of range of data, then criteria range. Here is our second criteria range. This is our second criteria range, and copy to, here is our copy. So mainly difference from this one criteria range, it will be different from the other one, and we want to check this value. So it will be changeable this value every time. So it is a very time consuming when we are using this value on the basis of criteria range. So value, it will be changeable. So whenever you are doing with this value, this is very time consuming, and you are doing with particular value. So now we can do with this macro. So we have to clear idea about this one. Now first, view record macro. First, we will going from the recording of macro. Macro number one, it will be recorded. It's a macro number one. If it is shortcut key, then we will use the shortcut key. If I'm using here, the write down the macro and write down macro. Then go for the sheet number two. Select hold the value. Clear all the value. Then go for here, data, data. Then go for the advanced filter. Copy to another location, list of range of data. Here is a list of range of data. Then criteria range. Here is your criteria range. Then copy to location is A1 to I1. Okay, then you can see here result is coming. Stop recording, right click, assign the macro, macro number one. Now go for the clearing the individually. If I'm going from only for greater than 94, if I'm doing from here is a laptop, here I am doing this value also, then you can see the different format with this different value is coming from your side. So you have to clear idea about this one. This is one type of searching, Google search, one type of, whenever whatever you are searching from this value, you can search this. On the basis of this searching from this value, we can create the different functionality. With using of different functionality, we can create all this value on the basis of this functionality. So make sure that all that functionality, which one we will be use this functionality, make sure that it will be usable. Now, what can I do from this functionality? Next, if I am giving this region is first, we will do for the desktop, monitor, miscellaneous, and laptop. This is basically four product. Then we will go for the data validation, list, desktop, then write down the laptop, then write down the MIS, miscellaneous products, and monitor. So now you can see you're tracking this value, desktop, laptop, and monitor this value, right? If I am doing with the regions value, you can see here is a regions. There are four regions, west, north, south. You can also doing from this one. So we have to easily drag this value and select this value. If we have a easily drag and select this value, we can work on this value. If I am using from second criteria, for example, east, it will be not find out because we have to select only one criteria. So it will be select the monitor, but it will be not selected this is value because this is our criteria. If the value is monitor, otherwise the value is criteria. So both the value working with the simultaneously. If both the value working with the simultaneously, one or two criteria. First criteria is follow, otherwise the second criteria it will be follow. For example, if I'm doing from this one, then what can we do? We can recording the second macro, view, record macro, macro number two, and OK. First is what? Go for the sheet number two, then home tab, then clear all, right? Clear all, then go for the data tab, then go for the advanced filter, then copy to another location value is this one is your data, then criteria range, this one is your criteria range, here is your you can follow the multiple criteria range, and okay, desktop or is then stop recording. We have to do with the stop recording, do with the stop recording, and assign this macro number two. If I'm putting here nothing and write down this value, so the blank value it will be included from your data. From your data, you can see here blank value is also included in your data. There is a lots of processing time. I think so. This is very time consuming. We can create the second time this value. First, view, record macro, macro number three. First, clear all. Third, go for the advanced filter. copy to another location, then criteria range and copy to. Then stop recording. Right click, assign the macro number 3, north. All the data north is coming from your side. Now we will check the particular data with or operator. Now first view record macro number 4. First it is clear all, then our cursor is here. Data, advanced filter, copy to another location. So and criteria is working or not. We have to clear idea about this one. A to I. Criteria range. Here is our criteria range. Then copy to A to I. Right? If the processing is completed, after the complete of processing, we want to clear all. Write down, assign macro 4. Okay. For example, product is desktop. It will be working with all the product, not working with all the criteria. It will be working with all the product. Desktop, laptop, it's not working with the particular second criteria. It will be working with only first criteria. Okay, then we will do from the next criteria. So north, otherwise else we will do for the uh, laptop, desktop, other values. So we want to use this value. I think so. We have a very long criteria we want to do with a very long criteria. So data value is very big, so it will be find out the lots of value if I'm generating this value and clear all. We want to select whole the table. So if I am putting from this data only, for example, we have a lots of data, so processing time is very big, and at that time it will result is very much processing time is. We can go for the view record macro, that macro number 5. Macro 5 we will go for this sheet. We want to home tab, clear all. Whenever I'm clear on this value, then go for the data tab, advanced filter, copy to late. Yes, in this parameter we only want to select this criteria, right? Otherwise else processing time is very big. Then we want to select this one not and copy to a to I value and okay. Now stop recording and now insert assign shape. For example, assign this shape, right click, assign macro 5 and okay. Now you can select the different product desktop north and now it will be working. Now we will do with the different functionality. We will do with this functionality also. Now we will do with a different functionality, right? So first view record macro name is macro 6. Home tab, clear all data, then go for the data tab, advanced filter, copy to another location. List of taste of data. This is particular data. You want to select this data. Criteria range. You can use this criteria range and copy to A to I and stop recording. Now you can see here desktop value only. This is a desktop value and region is, for example, north. Only for north region, for example. So it will be working with the first criteria only. North region. If I'm selecting here the north region, if here we will select the desktop, miscellaneous and text. So it will be working with the only this parameter only. So we will assign only for one criteria, right? Second criteria it will be not working, and criteria it will be working, right? So we will create this one. If you want to use the second criteria, you can use. So now we will check here the one parameter, one data. It will be working with the advanced filter. First we will check that. Then we will check here the data is working or not properly. Go for the data tab, advanced filter, copy to another location. There is a list of range of data. Here is a list of range of data. Then criteria range. Here is our criteria range. Is this one. Product north, south, east, west, and okay. You can see here all the value from the desktop, miscellaneous, and region it will be coming from. So it will be working with one parameter, one value. Is that clear, friends? So we want to create the second parameter on the second criteria also. So we want to create the second criteria with the second parameter. Here you can see here this is a particular value. So all the value it will be coming from north, south. Yes, it will be coming. Desktop. If the value is desktop, then value is not south. If the value is so or criteria is working. So it means that or criteria is also working here. Desktop value is not. If the value is not, value is monitor. So macro it will be working also. Macro 6 and it will be working. From example, if I am writing here the south. This is all parameter desktop, 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 but this is south, so this will work with this value. So this is all parameter with using of advanced filter, it will be also working. So you can do with both the parameter or parameter and parameter. If you are writing in a one line, this is called and parameter. If you are writing in a different line, this is called or parameter. So basically you are working with the both the parameter and the or parameter. If you are using with the and parameter, you can work with the and value. If you are using with the or parameter, you will be using with or value. So you can work the both the parameter and the or parameter. With this and or, we have two multiple criteria here. So we will do with this multiple criteria. If you are using with the multiple criteria, you can do with your work. So make sure that if the any criteria value you want with this any criteria value, you do this. Now, and or criteria, it will be completed. So and criteria, if I'm putting here the and criteria, we want to put here value desktop and south value. So one value is blank value. Desktop and south, we want to select this value here. And now value desktop and south value. So basically this is work with the blank criteria also. So all the data we will work with the this value. So it will be work that. So make sure that advanced filter with using of one criteria, this is called perfect result from your side. If you are doing with the perfect result, you can use this value. North parameter, south parameter, desktop parameter, you want to use this parameter. On the basis of this parameter, we have to exactly find out the particular value. If you want to find out exact value, you want to find this value. On the basis of this value, we have to find out the particular parameter. So we have a particular parameter, we have to do this particular criteria. So if you want to use this particular criteria, desktop with a north, south, east, west, you have to do this parameter. On the basis of this parameter, we have to clearly idea about particular value. Okay. Now, if we will use this advanced filter, this is called filter and this is called advanced filter. Then if filter the list in this place, then this is same as it is when you are using with the filter. So basically filter and advanced filter, this is the main differences. Filter is a putting out the data from the another location, and advanced filter is putting out your data in the another location. Filter is putting out the data in the same location. So make sure that if you use the advanced filter, your data is coming from the next slide. If you are using the filter, then your data is in filtering on same place. This is the mainly difference. Then the one question is that why we use the advanced filter? Why we use particular advanced filter here? Advanced filter is basically work when we are creating some searching of data. For example, you are giving from data from the Google search. If you are creating some website and you are searching from anything else, for example, if you are using the Flipkart, in the Flipkart you have searched by name from write down the any book from particular Excel, for example, book from Excel. So Excel, all the search data you want to search this, right? So all the Excel data you want to search here. This is called advanced filter. For example, your website. You want to search data trainer website. You want to search the Excel video from a particularly advanced filtering. So you can write down advanced filter. So if you want to write down the advanced filter in the search menu, so all the advanced filter data, it will be searchable. So all advanced filter data, if you want to search this menu and all the advanced filter data, it will be searchable from your side. So make sure that all the advanced filter with using of this menu, you can search the easily from your data. So make sure that advanced filter with using of this data, you can search the any value on the basis of advanced filter. You can search the multiple of this data value with your data. You can search it. So basically, advanced filter is using from the particular searchable menu. You can search this functionality on the basis of search menu. So Flipkart, Amazon, you can create one type of website in the Excel and you want to search the particular data. So you can use this. For example, you can search the Domino's pizza, right? You can write down any value in the Domino's pizza's value. So all the pizza value, it will become on the particular data from this side. So it will be searchable from your side. So this is called as this value with using of data validation. You can use this value. You can write down here the name also, edit text. If you write down submit here, you can write down submit value. This submit values come from your side. So you have to write down this value, submit value, view value, data value. We want to write down this data value, filtering value also. So filter value, data value, it's also come from your side. So this is a shape on all this. So if you are using curating any website, then you can use this particular shape. So if you write down this particular shape, this is a very assign macro number 6. Write down edit text, for example, edit text and write down the value is a submit. Then we will submitting this value. So if you want to write down the submitting this value, we want to easily work this. So what is color combination? If you want to put out any thing with your buttons, for example, we want to do the any shape, formatted shape, for example, then color, then picture and fill. We want to use this picture and fill. If you are using this texture fill, you can use the any texture fill here. You can use this texture fill. So button with using of this texture image, you can use this button. Here you will use this buttons. Then if you want to change this color also, then submitting from this button. If you are submit from this button, we will use this button. If we will deleting this button, we will simply delete button. If we will drag this button, we will simply control and dragging this value. So we will drag this button easily. We will dragging this value. If you are using the different shape, use this shape from this button also. So if you are using only for using from shape, you can use this any of the shape you are Google search from and creating this value. You can create some shape here and you can do with your shape. You can create a picture also and the picture as well as you can work with this picture also as a button also. So button you can create the button at outside of Google's and you can create this button also. But the button with the pictures with the colors and all the combination is also available. But make sure that button is a very simple button. So anyone using this button, so he know about that. If this is called as a button, you can create a comment part also. Assign micro hyperlink. You can create the hyperlink button of also. So if you want to create the hyperlink of button, you can create this. Otherwise, I'll say you will create a button format also, and you will be create from new comment also. Not here, it is here. You can create. This is a button. You can click on this button. This particular data is coming. This is a button. If you click it, work with data. So if you are clicking on this button, when you are clicking on this button and click on this button at that time, you will be work this. If you are not doing this button here, if you are here, then you can also add here exact place. This is button working with macro, otherwise is working with your search options. So it will be work here when you are clicking here at that time it will be showing here. So Whenever your cursor is here, you can put out this value. This is buttons also, and it will be work from data. Okay, friends. Then we can create data in the next video. So next functionality. Okay.